I'd like to welcome everybody to the amazing glass demonstration. Totally. And also thank Malcolm McFadden here for the 10 years he's been demonstrating and also hurting himself and educating the public. Currently I'm the president of the British Columbia Glass Arts Association, and truly the mandate of the association is to educate the public of this fabulous medium. The medium of glass covers a lot of area, from your everyday use to the Hubble telescope that can see billions of light years into the past. So it's some cases complicated. For instance, the Hubble telescope glass, the lens was annealed, which we showed earlier, or heated down. Once it was made, it was heated down and had to cool from the outside to the inside. That's how it behaves. Yeah, it's still using that technology. And what it is it has to be cooled down from the outside evenly to the inside, or it'll warp, stretch, crack, which is the worst case scenario. So that took almost 2.5 years to cool down. And then after that, it's polished all through incredible technology. So that's the incredible parts of glass. Fiber optics come to play, as Malcolm showed you. And also lots of different applications. This is a hot glass application. If you haven't seen the torches here going, hot glass application. You can actually take glass and bend it into trays. That's considered in this arena warm glass. Cold glass is like window glass or sandblasted glass. And all is made up, all these different types of glass is made up with different recipes. Window glass, if melted with this glass that Malcolm showed you, if they put together, they would crack. So, anyway, as you can see, it's very malleable. It's liquid, and and it looks like a balloon character. So, what we're starting with right now is just clear glass. I mean, you can get colored glass depending on your application, but this here transmits the color of the other glass through to give you almost sometimes a solid-looking color glass. Malcolm's going to give you a showing it how thin it can be. At this point here, you don't need to anneal it because it's so thin. The surface tension is. But once again, I'd like to thank Malcolm for the 10 years he's been out here wandering around the science world and visit many venues, educating the kids and stuff. So thank you very much, Malcolm. So as we get started here,
I've got one little plug to do then. Since we're here, I got 2 plugs. So I should put in. One is. Totally Amazing Glass will be at Capilano Suspension Bridge over Christmas. They have 300,000 lights set up around the bridge and in the grounds. I'll be there teaching a Christmas icicle workshop. It's for kids, that should be good. And there's a party to go to. Anyone wants to see glass blowing done? Robert Held Art Glass on 5th and Pine. I've got their open house coming up this Friday. Should be a good party.
Actually, the
5 till 9,
and it goes through the weekend from 10 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. Now, on that level, Robert Held Studios is the oldest glass studio in Vancouver. They're doing a lot of Tiffany type glass. It's a number of artists working a 9-to-5 job, going to TAD for the designs of Robert Held. My small shop, Malcolm Small, we have our own facilities that we can explore. In the case of the Robert Held Studios, they go in, work on the designs, and anybody can go there and watch it. It's quite fascinating. A lot of guys pulling out a lot of glass. So, anyway, to get started here, I'm going to be doing some demos today of some chili peppers, and then from there, just to extend a little bit farther, I'm going to do a paperweight with a jellyfish on the inside of it. So they're very thought-provoking. You'll be able to see how this whole thing is done, because when you take a look at the jellyfish inside of it, the first question everybody asks is, how did you get that in there? How did you do that? Is that a real one? You know, so you'll be able to see how this all works, and it's using tricks. So anyway, that's all. No, I'm going to use a pipe. So that one there? Okay. Now, when you come into somebody else's studio, you usually try to go through the glass, understand where everything is, because it's unlike your own, but still has the same characteristics to it. The markers, the annealers, the glory holes are what you have to use. My studio is a multifaceted studio. That's not a pun either. So I do a lot of castings, cast glass. I design the pieces in a plasticine or a clay. From there, try to take a mold from that, create a wax out of that, encase that wax into plaster, melt the wax out, hence gloss wax, add glass into it, cold glass, put it in my ovens, my kilns, and raise it up. This is called kiln casting, where once you get to about 1500 degrees Fahrenheit, the glass goes into a liquid form, fills in all the crevices and the impressions, and then once that's level to where I want it, I cool it down for 2 days or whatever, and break the mold apart, which is called a waste mold. Once you use it, it's done, and pull out your gem of glass. And normally there's residues over it, and from there I'll polish it up, buff it out, in some cases using hydrochloric acid to actually eat a very micron of glass off of it, which in turn also polishes it too. The hydrochloric is all usually sent out to facilities where they have venting systems, follow all the precautions, because it's very, very terrible acid. So, and also I collaborate with individuals, do a lot of designing for it and such, but anyway, we'll get to that later. All right, let's get going. So, are you going to open this thing for me? Okay. Right now I've just taken a gathered glass, it's molten here. Set down and let it get a little bit of a skin on it. This is called a block. It's a hardwood cherry block where I can actually get the glass off. It's soaked in water. And realistically what you got here is just, you're shaping it through just steam going around this thing. So I'll take a couple gathers to get some mass here. We'll do it again. And right now I'm putting this in crushed glass called Frit, red.
If you want to learn how to blow glass, I got workshops here on the stage, and then I teach out of my own studio. And there are glass schools around, but not so much in BC, but Pilchuck Glass School in Washington State is just over the border, the Mount Vernon area. That's an international glass school, very famous place. People come from all over the world to take courses there. Usually about 2.5-week courses. There's Red Deer College in Alberta, runs a glass program, which is a summer program. You can go there for a week and take glass blowing. And Alberta College of Art and Sheraton College and Espace Vert in Montreal are all degree programs that you can we can take for like 2 years, really get into it.
I'm placing a bowl in here right now, and I'm capping it off. And because what I've done is I glue into the pipe and put positive pressure onto the pipe and cap it off, which puts the pressure onto the glass where it actually pops it all up. Gotta get used to that.
Every kind of glass in every studio is different as well. This is made by Spectrum. It's called System 96. And if you go to a different studio, like the one on Granville Island, they use a Swedish-based glass, a Swedish manufactured glass called Plasma. Robert held out glass, I think they use spruce pine batch, is it?
No, they use, Robert Held uses System 96 and also SP100, which is all out of Woodinville, out of Seattle.
All right.
Well,
they all have different working capabilities, so that's one of the interesting things of changing from one studio to another is you're going to be using a different glass.
There are some glasses that hold the temperature a long time. Other ones that really cool off quite quickly. So I'm reheating it, trying to get the glass malleable again. You can hang it down. You can actually move it around. You can swing it, elongate it. And this is a jack here, the tool. I'm getting the jack line down so I can actually be able to pop it off, and we're going to put a top on it for the Christmas ornament. No. I think get ready here to pop this thing off. You're going to grab the top. And so with these jacks here, it's a tool, a multi-purpose tool. It shapes. This is chilling it now, because once you chill glass, you put stress on it. Malcolm's putting the top on it right now.
Do I bend it over into a hook?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do a loop. I'll take that. So you have to work together as a team when you're doing large things. Even though we do have our own studios, we've figured ways out, but it's always nice to have a helping hand. You can put Okay. Got it. Okay. Yeah, so that's an example of a paper, or excuse me, a pepper ornament. We set it into that annealer, which now is sitting at about 950 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the show is over and that's filled up, then we'll warm it down, which in turn means we'll ramp the temperature down so the pieces stay at an even temperature, no stress, and by tomorrow you can pull them out, put a little raffia on them, and hang them and sell them for Christmas presents. What a concept. So, I think I can do one more just to give you guys an idea, then I'll go right into the paperweight. I've done it? Yeah. What time? What do we have? Because it takes around, we're going to go directly into the paperweight. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to need a, okay. Okay. Now, glass comes in a lot of different ways to use it. It comes in powders, it comes in crushed glass, frits, in different pots, so you can get big chunks, you can get very fine chunks, and in this case right now, I'm using a very fine powder. So since some of you may have the terms, some of the terms we use down, is that I'm going to go in with the pipe, gather a couple gathers around it, create some mass, and then I'm going to come into this powdered glass. I'm going to stick it down into the top of it for a second, take it back, I'm going to fuse that glass into the glass, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jam a tungsten pick, like so, right into it, which in turn what it's going to do is it's going to drive that glass, that white glass that's fused onto there, right into it as the tentacles of the jelly. Okay, so just to give you an idea beforehand, if I don't talk and I'm concentrating. So anyway, now that'll give you, and you can do it in multicolors. I'm really trying these days to stick with the actual jelly, the moon jelly itself. So, and then just to give you another understanding, once that's done, you deform the glass itself by you've morphed it. You know, let's get it back to where it was again. Got to heat it back up, shape it, maybe do a trim on it, and then the next thing is to put the bell around the jelly, create the jelly. So at that point, Malcolm will be gathering some glass. You'll go into here and gather once, twice, 3 times. Anyway, twice. That one right there.
Yeah, I want, okay.
My glass,
Yes.
not your glass. So from there, he'll heat that up and he'll put that on the top of the tentacles that I have. I'll start stretching and morphing that out, get it back together. Then once that's in place, then I'll gather around it with more glass. Now encapsulating that whole thing, suspending it into the glass. So it'll look like you go, how did you get that in there? So you'll know how it's in there. So,
I know.
you better, Brian.
I've never done this.
Well, you don't have to do anything. Just give me that. Yeah.
It's a very easy job for me. The guy with the skill is going to be Rafael. All I have to do is, what did you say?
Help.
Help. The assistant can be from basic help sweeping the floor or going up to a higher level where actually the assistant is as skillful as the operator. Once you get 2 guys working together who are both about that same level of skill, anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
We'll see.
What I'm doing right now is just going to shape it. I'm getting some of the glass off the pipe up front here. Shaking it with the cherry wood block. This in particular one was made from an old timer in Virginia, from their Virginia cherry wood. Any questions so far? It's a hardwood, very, very hard wood. And so if you were to use pine or cedar, this would burn through it in just a matter of a few sessions. Very tight grained.
I've used Arbutus. I've had some blocks made in Arbutus, and it actually works fine. I think it probably burns out a little earlier. A good block should last you, it should last you, a big block will last you 2 or 3 years. But if you misuse it and don't keep it wet, use it too much, too long, for too long a period, it'll burn through. And I guess, I don't know, mythology has it that cherry wood's the best.
Without getting this thing too massive and taking a lot of time, I'm going to reheat it again. And this is where the step we were talking about a little earlier is I'll take the tip of this and let it sit and fuse into that white glass powder. Now, by going back in here into the glory hole, I'll be fusing that directly in again. You'll probably be able to see this a little better through the camera's magic. So as you can see, the glass once again now is morphed. Now I want to get it back, but those are the tentacles. So it'll take a couple reheats, some shaping, getting it all back into the form that I want to, once again, get ready for the bell. Now. Just getting it shaped again. Now to put another little twist in it, literally, is once the glass is hot, real hot and malleable, because that cools it off and such, I'm going to apply a little more pressure to the glass onto the marble and actually twist it to create a very organic feel as the jelly would be going through the water, just like that. The thing, as I'm reheating this, the thing about Malcolm's studio, and actually I took his concept of it and actually built one for myself. You can actually pick this stuff up and put it in the back of the car and drive away with your whole studio to go to different schools to demonstrate, parties, rent a glass blower. weddings. Create the goblet for the muzzle top. I'm going to reshape it now. Okay, Malcolm, I'm going to heat this, and if you want to grab me a ball about that big, that'll go on the top of here. Two coats.
Okay, we've got a couple of gathers. Don't get very big.
Yeah, that's right. Just go on the tip and no, that's fine. We're going to make a small one here.
Just on the tip.
No, just on the tip and then on the sides 2 times. Use it in. Yeah, come in and preheat. Can the camera get that? Can you see that right there? The tentacles in that? And then one more time. That's good. And bring that over to the up above, right? I'm going to come over right now. Yeah. What's that? No. Yeah. Just go up, drop it on, bang, bang, bye-bye. Go. Yep. Just stay right there. Don't move. So this is the first part of the bell of the jelly. So once again, after that's cooled off, I'm going to start fusing that in, shaping it, and then in order to create the drapery or the stingers, of course, more tentacles coming in, I'll use another tool, which I can actually draw the pieces down, almost like feathering. Yeah, in some cases, if you don't have the tool, you just make it. That was a screwdriver at one time. Bent it over with a torch and sharpened it up so I can actually claw the bell and create the illusion of the jelly tentacles coming off the sides also. You can imagine the glory hole is a nice place to be in the wintertime. You want to get it hot enough so you can actually grab it, hold these things down, work it without it getting too cold, because of course once the glass gets too cold, you can't move it around, it's hard, and you have to reheat it here again. I'll heat this up again, shape it, let it cool down a little bit. If you try to go into the glory hole with too hot a glass, what will happen, it'll actually pull the glass off the pipe. So you want to have it cool enough, cooler anyway, that the glass in there will actually attach itself to the glass. It's firm enough where it's not going to lose the grip or its integrity onto it and fall off. And you can gather around it, bring it out here and shape it.
Rafael is working fairly small here today because of the size of the equipment, but he also likes to get involved in some pretty heavy, sweaty, large pieces, working in larger studios, working some of his designs like the Spirit Vessel series, and what's the more recent series?
Is the salmon run, which is copper salmon that have been cut out, infused into the glass, and as Ted and I blow it out, the copper oxide leaches off onto the glass. It creates an aura around every one of the cupris. Really quite nice.
Now these are beautiful pieces. They I don't know the retail price of them. I hesitate to ask.
Well, they go from anywhere from like 900 to 3,200.
Yeah. So Rafael and Ted have had many shows. I think the Utah Olympics was one, but he's had many shows in town here as well. Spirit vessels are still collectible items, wonderful work. I have one at home that Ted gave to me in the early days when I was working out of his studio.
So, this particular glass I'm using is white, but it's also a very light white. It's a transparent. It's got a translucency through it. So, as the glass is hot, it really shows the translucency, and sometimes it's a little difficult to actually know where to go with it. But as it starts cooling off, the color starts coming back to it, and it starts appearing in the veil will a little bit more. Once we encase it, you'll be able to see it. So you guys are sort of getting the idea on how this is all working, right? I'm going to go for another gather. Hopefully the camera can pick that all up on the profile there, so you can see now the encapsulated jelly inside there.
So a lot of the secret is to keep the glass in the core quite cold so that it doesn't get remelted and distorted. And then you pick up more layers of hot glass on the outside, and you can move it. During the first few minutes, you can move that hot glass around on the outside of your paperweight before the heat actually forces its way into the core. There's some some amazing paperweights made by Paul Stankard in, is he out of New York State? I think he is.
Oh, they're beyond. They're unbelievable.
There's biological specimens, you know, flowers done in incredible detail, which he then overlays with glass. And you see this little trapped baby, that's great. Now you've got to get it off the pipe. How are you going to do that, Rafael?
Oh, I forgot about that. So I'm going to heat this back up now, so at least you got a little more of an idea, visual on this thing. And I'm going to take the jacks, the tool over there, and start squeezing down on the base, and proceed to get ready to break it off. So some of the properties of glass is that if you were to, in the same case here, I'll have to swing this and stretch it out, because whenever you put those jacks on it, it starts chilling the glass off in one place. The rest of the glass wants to go to it to cool off and form up. So you have to keep reheating. In the case of a Christmas ornament, if you were to do that nice, beautiful round and touch that back in, it'll suck up and want to go flat. Well, it can't be. I'm just going to stretch that out.
That's where your centrifugal force comes in. Whenever you're working with glass, you're working with four basic elements. One is heat, which is obvious. One is air pressure. When you're blowing glass, you're putting air pressure inside it to force the walls out. Another one is gravity. Gravity is your friend, they say. Can be your friend if you use gravity correctly, like hanging it down, letting it stretch. And then you can even help gravity a little bit by bringing in a centrifugal force, by swinging it around, you know. It's the extreme gravity.
There's a huge demand in collectors these days for paperweights. There's a wonderful website in north of Monterey. There's a place called Santa Cruz, and he's one of the gentleman is one of the top collectors and sellers of paperweights worldwide. So I'm letting the mass cool off, because you want to keep everything neutral here, and I'm chilling it with the jacks again, chilling the jack mark right down here, which is the area that I'm going to break off too. So in the case of this right now, is that the metal has chilled that area, and this thing is going through a lot of stress right now. Do I break this thing off? Over there? Do I break it off on that thing?
Yeah.
It might be better if we just broke it off on a piece of fiber track so you can actually grab it. Can you grab it with me? Yeah. No, I told her everything. Well, either or, we can just pop it off into your hands. Get a good grab of it. Okay. Alrighty. Ready to go?
Yeah.
So there you go. Thank you. Are there any questions in regards to glass, or? It's just a darn fascinating thing, isn't it?
Well, Rafael, thank you very much.
Thank you, Malcolm.
Let's hear it for Rafael Navarro Leiton. Thank you.